All right, everyone, we are back. NASA 2021. We are back with the Pathless, and I'm here with sabledragonrook. How are you doing, Sable?
Great, thank you. How are you?
I'm living the dream. Can't complain. I would, but who'd listen? I just want to give a quick update. We have $63 in the coffers for Pet the Burb, so we have 12 bird pets for you, and we are 3/5 of the way towards another one.
Awesome. And it seems like we are basically good to go, correct?
Whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. Well, hello, everybody. As was said previously, I am Sable Dragon Rook. You can call me Sable. I am not going to keep us on this title screen, so I will give you a countdown as long as you are ready, and we will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So, hello. Thanks for having me. You may remember me from Spyro yesterday. I've been hanging around. And you may also remember Mort in the bottom left-hand corner. He is going to be hanging out once again. He is currently just chilling. But this is The Pathless, a relatively recent game. It was released in December of 2020, so it may have kind of skirted under your radar for being new and kind of still unknown. But maybe I'm a little biased, but I highly recommend it. The movement is great, the story is great, it's just beautiful. So I'm hopeful that I can show off some of its great qualities during this run. This is going to be all bosses, so as the title implies, there are bosses, we are going to fight them. We say this because there's a way to skip the majority of them, but that's not going to happen. Alright, so we have come to this island. This island is where a bunch of gods live. That's basically all we know. We know that a bunch of gods live here, and that maybe something is kinda not right. And so we're gonna go investigate. And this is me. It's just me and my bow for now. It might be perhaps a little bit odd to think, but my bow is actually my primary means of movement in this game. It's how we are gonna take control of the speedrun and go real fast. We're going to do that by shooting these talismans. So as you can see, if I shoot them, I get stamina at the bottom, and I get a speed boost. So we are going to be shooting talismans as often as possible. We're going to be really strategic about that to make sure that we're always moving. And so here we have this giant bird just sitting here, and she's indicating toward this tower, and she's being like, look, this tower is giving off this really bad cursed energy, and it's making me real sick. Can you take this light stone, this key that I'm going to give you, and go turn that off for me, please? And I'm like, of course I will, because you seem like a great giant bird. So we're going to go and do that for her. And in actuality, that is the essence of the entire game. That's what we're going to be doing for all of the gods we find who are corrupted or cursed. We're going to be doing puzzles to get those light stones, which are the keys to the tower, and turning the towers off so that they feel better. We're also going to collect this visor that you will basically never see again. It's not a super common like a puzzle piece in our repertoire of speed tech, but ta-da, I can look through walls. That's what it does. It lets me look through walls, and it lets me walk through those very specific blue doors that we occasionally see. That is the entirety of what the visor does. We don't really use it because you can't sprint while you have it on, and as you may have guessed, sprinting is kind of an important part of going fast. But every now and then the visor might come through and we'll need it for a second. I hit a tree. So this is a puzzle game. It's a puzzle exploration game, so we are going to be, you know, solving puzzles sort of like the one that I just did to get these light stones. The puzzles here are very easy because this is the tutorial island. It's kind of just showing you how things work. But once we get these light stones, we can use them to turn off these towers. Or rather, to change the energy in the tower from cursed to healthy again. Holy energy. And so you've basically already learned everything that you need to know about the goals of this run. We see animals that are not feeling good. We help animals that are not feeling good by getting light stones and turning off towers. That's what we do. Thankfully, underneath all of that very basic gameplay, we have a really compelling story, lovely visuals, lovely movement. It's such a good game. I say that like from the bottom of my heart. It's such a good game. You may notice on the ground sometimes there are these like fairy lights, these blue orbs. Those are people's memories. There are people on the ground, their skeletons are on the ground, and you can go and like listen to their memories or listen to their spirits talk to you. And that's kind of how you piece together what's happening in this world. That's how you get your story. But of course, I will fill you in with what you need to know because we gonna be zooming. And of course, we'll continue to talk about the movement tech as it becomes, you know, relevant. For now, we can run. That's basically what we can do. That is about to expand greatly now that we have fixed all of these towers. Yeah, I think Neo is pretty similar if I remember. It's been a long time since I played Neo. But yeah, it's not quite environmental storytelling in the same way as, for example, Dark Souls, which was just here at the marathon right before me. But kind of in the same vein, you know, nothing is explicit. Except for the very few times that we get a meeting between two characters. So we fixed all the towers, they're all radiating this good energy now, this holy energy, and that's helping to purify her. But I'm a pilgrim, and my specific role is to finish this purification ritual, and that's what I'm doing for her now. And so we removed the curse. She feels great. She is completely back to the way that she is supposed to be, and you can see she has a giant hole in her chest. That's okay, she's supposed to. All of the gods of this world have that big hole somewhere. And that's kind of what marks them as tall ones, which is the word for gods in this particular world. Alright, so we're gonna get one of our few little exposition bits here to kind of place us in the story. Let us know what we need to know.
Tankiva foru shazu. Jisahil vaketansu.
So if you couldn't tell by, you know, the fire and the creepy eyeballs and all that stuff, that's the bad guy. He's the one we're going to be dealing with for the duration of the run. She, of course, is just completely corrupted again. Like, we fixed her for a second, and then he just came back and completely ruined everything. So he's chilling up in the sky in this giant, you know, lava island, as you do. And we can't go there yet, because this tower has, like, a vortex around it that's preventing us from climbing up. So in order to get rid of that vortex, we're going to need to defeat the other gods who live here, who are coincidentally the children of this giant eagle that we're listening to at the moment. And that's where all bosses comes from, right? Any percent would skip these bosses and go straight to the end of the game. We are going to go through and defeat all of them, because all of them deserve to not be cursed anymore. Unfortunately, that last curse that the Godslayer put on her, she's not doing too good. She kinda went away. But in her place, may I introduce you to Pickles? His name is Pickles because I say so. He doesn't actually have a name, but in my runs he's always Pickles. I know another runner names him Fabrizio. Everybody has different names for the bird. So, as you can see, we can give Pickles some good belly rubs. And that is what our incentive is for this run. I do believe it is $5, and we will give Pickles a good little belly rub. Am I correct with that number?
Yes, $5. Every $5 we are going to rub Pickles' belly.
And it's totally worth it, of course, because he is the best burb. But we did get a bunch of donations before the run even started, which is great, and that's awesome. So we are actually going to take all those, and we are going to be doing the pets that we would normally skip during the speed run. You can quit out of the game for required pets in order to skip them to go faster, but thanks to y'all being so generous, we're going to make sure to include those in the run so that Pickles is never wanting for a rub on his tummy. And so now we're learning about all of the things that Pickles can do for us, because he's going to be with us for the whole game. He's my buddy. He's coming with me. So he can lift heavy stuff, because he is very strong. And that will help us solve puzzles. Eventually we are going to learn some more things that he can do for us. And he is actually a huge component of how we move in this speedrun. For now though, let's just focus on getting Pickles to do what Pickles needs to do, which is sometimes easier said than done. If you know anything about me as a runner, you'll know that I favor games with kind of an RNG element AI companion. And so Pickles is right up my alley. Are they a skink? Yes, Mort, in the bottom left-hand corner, is a blue-tongued skink, which is a kind of lizard. I know he looks like a snake because his legs are so short, but he is in fact a lizard. So Pickles, like, freaked out, right, when he saw this statue. That statue looks like the Godslayer, and he, you know, the Godslayer did just kind of decimate the eagle. So it's probably understand. And he also lit Pickles on fire. Remember, we petted Pickles and put the fire out. So it's kind of no wonder then. Pickles, what are you doing here, buddy? I gave you a job to do. It's kind of no wonder then that Pickles would be a little bit upset at seeing those Godslayer statues. So whenever we encounter a puzzle where those statues are present, Pickles is going to not help me until I turn it off. For that reason, we mostly won't be doing those kind of puzzles, because that, you know, takes time to solve them without his help, but Every now and then, we'll work in one. And he is now teaching me that he's a big, strong boy, and he can carry me. So yet another piece of very, very critical movement tech. We still have a little bit that we can learn about Pickles, but for now, finally, let's just get out of this tutorial island and get into the actual meat of the game. Everything that makes this game great. The music, by the way, is Austin Wintory, who I believe also worked on Abzu. The people who made this game, Giant Squid, are the same people who made Abzu. So if you like that game, this is probably right up your alley as well. Okay. Why did I just vault off the side there?
Fun fact, Austin Wintory also did Journey.
Did he do Journey? I was gonna suggest that Journey was similar, but I had no idea that he actually worked on it.
There you go, we learn new things every day.
Alright, I have picked up, I call them goobers. They are crystals, these orange crystals. They gave us just enough experience to learn to flap. So we have gotten ourselves a flap. This is the final thing that Pickles can do for us that is super, super helpful. We're going to be gathering more flaps as we go, as the world gets bigger. Every boss will give us a flap. You'll see that when I touch the ground, the flap comes back. That's only true of the very first flap. Any flaps we get after this, we'll have to wait for them to recharge, but the first one always comes back immediately. And so that will factor into some strategic movement and how we do the things we do. Alright, let's get into the bulk of the game.
Pusar Serlos, Kelo Selva.
So that there was Cernos. Honestly, probably my favorite boss, even though by most metrics he's the simplest. He is one of the Eagle Mother's children who was corrupted. He's going to be the first boss that we need to take care of. And this entire plateau is centered around him and making him feel better. That was perilously close. Pretend that I meant to do that. I nearly fell to my death. So just as before, just as we did with the Eagle Mother, we're going to be grabbing these light stones. We are going to be... Put me down, Pickles. We're going to be putting those light stones into towers to radiate some good energy. And that's going to make Cernos feel better. There is, however, one important difference between everything that we did for the Eagle Mother and everything we're going to do for the rest of the game. You see that big red cloud over there? That's the difference. That cloud is one of my favorite parts of the run, to be honest. But I'm also a sucker for RNG. Cernos is inside that cloud. Any boss that we're dealing with is always going to be inside that big red cloud. And that cloud follows you. It's a little bit random, but also in some ways it's predictable, in the sense that I figured that Cernos would be here. But it will follow you, and I need to stay as far away from it as possible, I say as I glide directly towards it. Because Cernos is prowling around in there, and if he catches me with the cloud, that's bad. Many, many bad things happen. Thankfully, going to the main menu and coming back in is gonna dispel the cloud, it's gonna move it somewhere else. But if I get caught, that's gonna initiate a stealth sequence. I'm sure you can imagine that in basically any speedrun, a stealth sequence is not the fastest way to do anything. So we want to avoid that, not only because it's slow, but because it can sometimes, like, it can shoot you through the floor and it can do all sorts of weird stuff. We don't want to be in the cloud. That's basically how that works. Gonna light my arrows on fire here to light those torches. And that will give us a light stone. So throughout this run we are going to be praying for some good RNG, that cloud doesn't follow us too closely, so that we don't have to do any more resets than are absolutely necessary. Plus, of course, we will be avoiding a couple other resets because y'all donated so much for Pickles Pets. We'll be doing those instead of quitting out like we normally would. Pickles? Hi, buddy! You get lost? Dude, why did you just drop this on my head? You can do this. Honey. Honey. Buddy. Thank you. It's gonna be one of those days, is it? Well, I like you anyway. So we already have the 2 light stones that we need to turn off the remaining 2 towers. That means we're done with puzzles in this area because we have what is required. And we're just going to be hopping from tower to tower. I think... Are they speaking a specific language? I think it's just a hodgepodge. I'm pretty sure it's just a hodgepodge. But don't, like, quote me on that, because it wouldn't surprise me if it was, like, Altaic or something, because a lot of the music is based on... Did you really have to be, like, right there, buddy? A lot of the music is based on, like, Altaic traditions, which would be, like, Mongolian throat singing and things like that. And you'll hear that in the music. You can hear it in the music, you can see it in the way that the main character even, like, shoots her bow. It's a very, like, Middle Eastern style compared to how we would hold and shoot a bow in, like, Europe. Cernos. Cernos. Did you not? A little bit of an unfortunate place to have a reset. We don't really want to be resetting in front of this waterfall. And he's over there again. What a goober. Well, we'll make the best of the situation we've been dealt. Hopefully we can sneak past him without him really caring. If I can get to the top of this tower before he catches me, he'll go away. So let's just not look. Let's just pretend that he doesn't exist. If I don't look, he's not real, right? Okay. We're safe. So just as before with the Eagle Mother, these are going to resonate together and try to purify the god who's corrupted. The difference is, now that we're in like the bulk of the game, that's not going to be good enough to just fix them. Instead, it's going to reveal their weak points. And it's up to me to take advantage of those weak points, knock them down, get in a fight with them, and fix them up. So Cernos' weak points have been revealed. Those are those eyeballs. And now I gotta chase him down and hit him in those weak spots. I love how Mort is sleeping with his mouth open. In the bottom left, Mort, he's asleep, but his mouth is just like hanging open. You may notice that some of these shots look a little bit different than others. A full charge on one of these talismans is going to guarantee that I hit it, barring, like, there's a tree in the way or something. Because you will hit the tree, and your shot won't count. Every now and then, I'll just, bam, like that. I'll just walk past one and just hit it without charging. That's always a risk, but often it's worth trying. You spend less time, you know, aiming. Yep.
Can I jump in real quick?
You bet.
We have a $5 donation from Anonymous.
Oh yeah.
You gotta pet that burb.
I'm gonna pet that bird so good. We'll do it after this chase because I actually don't know what happens if you try to pet the bird during the chase. Presumably everything catches on fire and it's just not a grand time for anybody, so we will pet him after we finish this up, which will not take long. Sorry, Cernos, but it will not take long. So yeah, basically all that was left of my comment was that sometimes, you know, you'll see me do these full charges, which take time, but they guarantee that I hit. Sometimes you will see me do a half charge, which I tried to do there and missed. That's called a skill shot when I can land it. Obviously it's faster because you only charge for half the time, but it's significantly harder to correctly gauge, you know, how to just charge by half. And so you often miss, like I did. And is it worth it to miss versus, you know, spending a fraction of a second less time? So that's the sort of thing that you weigh throughout the run. You take skill shots when you feel confident with them. Theranos, I'm gonna need you to chill a little bit, buddy. I'm gonna need you to calm down. You'll also notice that I don't have a health bar. Which might be perhaps a little weird for a category where you fight a bunch of bosses. I don't have a health bar, but I do have health. If I get hit too many times in a row, it will eject me from whatever it is that I'm doing, whether that's the chase, the boss fight, whatever, and I'll have to start over. So we don't want to be hit. There are definitely consequences for being hit. But any hits that I take will take from my stamina bar instead of any, you know, health bar. Which is not good because I don't want to be out of stamina because then I can't run. Here, pet the boss. I tickled him a little bit. I'm tickling him right in his eyeballs, as you do.
Wowie zowie. I gotta jump in really quick.
You bet.
We got a $50 donation
Oh, heck.
from Timrod saying, pet that bird. That's 10 pets on top of all the many pets. Wowie. Thank you
All
so
right.
much, Timrod.
Yeah, thank you for that giant donation. I will be sure to give him a good belly rub until he glows. And we will hit that right after this fight. He actually hit me. That basically never happens. Oftentimes he misses. It's fine that he hits me. I'm baiting the swipe anyway because it's the fastest thing he can do. But mostly it happens like that, where he just misses. Alright, Ceranos, I'm gonna need you to get out of the way. I have pets to do. The Ceranos kinda took himself out, but I'm not gonna complain. We get to purify him, we get to return him to the way that he's supposed to be, and he's gonna feel a lot better. And then we can pet the bird. So this is the way that Ceranos is supposed to look. He's feeling much better. So Ceranos is reaching into the spirit world. We'll have some connections with the spirit world throughout this run. He's reaching into the spirit world, giving me this arrow and saying, hey, can you please shoot this? Because it will finish cleansing my land. So now the sun is gonna shine, things are gonna grow again. We done fixed it. And that was one of the 3 bosses that we need to defeat in order to unlock this tower. The tower that will take us up and over that mountain and toward the God Slayer. Alright, so each boss gives us a gift. Ceranos' gift is that our stamina bar doubles, which is fantastic. And because he was a boss, we do get an extra flap as well. However, we've got some pets to do. We had a lovely $5 donation for 1 belly rub there. And come back, Pickles. Surprise! I have more. A 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now he's glowing. Doesn't that feel good, buddy? So if you pet Pickles for long enough, or you do enough like individual pets, he'll start to glow like that. If you go back and forth in a pet enough times, he'll start to glow. We gotta make sure that we give him all the scratchies, because he is the only reason that we are able to defeat these bosses. He's the one who, you know, is able to help us purify the bosses, to knock them down. Pickles is kind of really carrying the team, if we're being honest. Alright, on to the next plateau. And it's gonna be same story as before. We've got these towers, get the light stones, purify the towers, chase the god, fight the god, make the god feel better. Because we have to take care of all of our animal friends. The only difference is that from now on, towers will be harder to complete. So that means they will require 2 light stones each, instead of just 1. So we will now need to complete 6 puzzles instead of just 3 in each area. Oh shucks, we get to play with Pickles for longer. I was trying to trigger a cutscene skip, but I'm low-key not disappointed that we got it because now we get to meet Sauro.
Sahil Sauro, Tilki Shakosh.
As you can see, he is completely different from Cernos. His chase, his fight, everything is gonna be different. The puzzles also, finally, get a little bit more nuance, which is nice. And Pickles has been kind enough to grab us during that cutscene so that we can be moving while the controls are locked. I could be trying skill shots throughout this so that I don't drop quite as far. All of the time that I spend aiming is time that I spend losing altitude. So if you choose to do quick shots, or trick shots, excuse me, you drop less, right? Because you only charge half as much, so you only fall half as far. Tharo, are you contemplating coming over and scoping out my business? Because I'd like it if you just stayed where you are, buddy. I'm gonna try to outrun him. Which is generally not a wise decision, but risk it for the biscuit, as they say. He's gonna catch me. Unfortunately, he's gonna catch me. Alright, Pickles. He's such a good listener, isn't he? So we're gonna need a total of 6 light stones. Pickles! Pickles! Buddy. Pickles, where are you? I've lost my bird. Hey, buddy. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, I call you for tummy rubs and then you're here. I understand. He just, like, completely failed to load for a second. But yes, the minute that I said, hey, I'll give you tummy rubs, he's here. We've had plenty of generosity with Pet the Bird incentive anyway. I am not gonna complain about giving him some pets. So this is a pretty chill time where, you know, we're doing some basic puzzles. They are pretty, like, self-evident what you're supposed to do. And we're just gonna be turning on some of these towers. So if we have, like, any upcoming bid wars and things like that, or just some information about who we're supporting and why, now would be a great time.
You bet your bippy. We have a couple upcoming bid wars and incentives. We have the sprite selection for the Legend of Zelda randomizer, excuse me. We also have the Nick Kart Racers 2 bid war, which is to pick the character. That's my run in a few hours. And of course, this weekend we are raising money for Save the Children, a great organization. We've already raised $555, and we'll hope to raise a lot more.
Awesome, awesome. That was actually very lucky. Cernos, or not Cernos. We're done with Cernos. Sauro was chasing us up to that tower, but the fact that he was so close when I activated the tower meant that he got pushed away. And so now he's somewhere else, which in other words means he's not right in my face when I'm trying to solve this puzzle. Which is great. Not that I don't love him, but, you know. Where is he? You know what? I'm not even gonna look. Like I said before, if I don't look, it's not real, right? Sauro can go and do whatever it is he's doing and have a great time.
If a tree falls in the forest, right?
That's right. As for these yellow crystals, these goobers, we don't need them. So if I pick them up, like, it's always just kind of as a consequence of just standing somewhere. Buddy, you had one job. The crystals level up your flaps, but it takes a not insignificant amount to level up a flap, and we don't have time. We'll get all the flaps that we need from the bosses. But that's what those things are doing. They're just kind of hanging out. There's a bunch of them in, like, puzzles all around the world. You'll see what seems to be a pretty significant amount of this game, but in reality, what you're seeing in this speedrun is just a fraction of everything that's actually available in this game. There are so many puzzles that we're not doing. So don't let the fact that you've seen a little bit of this, like, discourage you from playing, right? There's still a ton that you can do on your own that you've never seen before. Cernos, I was just kind of like praising how good you were. Sauro, I can't keep my gods straight. But like, here's an example. There's a little puzzle down here with butterflies that if I chose to solve it would give me goobers. Hi, Azama! Azama is in chat. Azama, I do believe, right, is the current world record holder for this category. Nice to see you around. I'm gonna try. Like, I'm gonna try to go up this tower before Cernos bothers me. Almost assuredly that will not work. But let's go, let's go. Alright. We're good, actually. Sauro has decided that today he is going to be nice. So that actually was not bad at all. What was that, one reset on this plateau? That is really decent. So as you can see, Sauro is a little bit different from Cernos. Cernos had 6 weak points, and Sauro only has 4. The fight is also going to be significantly different, as are the moves that Sauro is going to use against us during the chase. Cernos was tossing some fireballs, and to be fair, that's what Sauro is going to do too, but they're going to be very different, and honestly, kind of a lot more problematic. I'm also going to be walking a fine line between really aggressive in these chases and conservative enough to not break things. It's kind of hard to tell exactly what causes it, but if you're unlucky, and at least from my experience, you know, if you're going toward the edges of the bounds of this run that you're following him with, the camera will kind of bounce. It might get stuck somewhere, you might lose the ability to move your character in a certain direction. We definitely don't want that to happen, so I will be playing it a little bit conservatively to try to mitigate the chance that we break it in that way. So here come these fireballs. Challenging because they leave a huge radius on their own, and because they, you know, explode with that bigger blast radius. It's not necessarily challenging until they start being behind you, or they start being on a hill like this, where you have just like a fraction of a second when you're in the air jumping because you're jumping uphill. Or as I said, you know, when they're behind you and you can't see the shockwave anymore. Quite honestly, that might actually have been like a gold chase for me. That was really nice. Mort's got something stuck on his nose. What you got on your nose, buddy? So Sorrow is much less of a one-on-one, straight-up combat fight than Cernos was. He honestly doesn't pose much of an issue by himself, and he kind of knows that. Which is why he's not fighting us directly, and it's why, once we hit him in the head once, he's gonna immediately call for help. He's like, look, Godslayer, this is not going well for me. Can I have some help here? And now, he is an extra spicy giraffe. He is powered up. This boss is a stealth mission, is what I was trying to say. I am going to try to squeak through this door. I try every time. It never works. But someday, I want to believe, deep in my heart, I want to believe that someday I'm going to make it through that door without getting hit. I want to believe that you can cut a cycle off of that. Because we can cut a cycle off of this. We can do this room in only one go. I disagree, but okay. Alright, so we're turning off his power sources. I was also just kind of low-key trying to see what would happen if I tried to pet Pickles during a boss fight, and it won't let me, unfortunately. But don't worry, we've still got more Pickles pets planned. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. Pickles Pets Plan. Because of everybody who donated before the run even started.
Can I jump in really quick?
You bet.
We have hot off the presses, we have a $12 donation from Anonymous that says Pet the Pickles. Which brings the total up, that's another 3 pets that we have on the docket.
Will do. We've still got a couple of the story critical pets that we will be doing, or rather not skipping, as a result of some of what we've made in that incentive, and then I will hit those 3 pets after we find out what Sorrow looks like. Sorrow is my favorite. I wonder why Sorrow is my favorite.
I'm 90% sure Mort and Sorrow lick their lips in unison.
Sorrow is what Mort thinks that he is, if we're being real. Mort, buddy, what do you have on your nose? What a weirdo. With that, we have now taken out 2 of the 3 bosses that we're going to need to climb this tower. We are well on our way. Bye, Sorrow. Have a good day. So Sorrow's gift to us is going to be some super powerful talismans that we'll see here in just a minute. We're also going to get this flap. But of course, our best boy Pickles deserves 1 good pet for now. When we get to the whirlwind, I'll give him another belly rub. Can't spoil him with all of his belly rubs all at one time. And so we've got these super powerful talismans now, these orange ones. We will be routing in as many as possible because we go heckin' fast for as long as we're using those. Pretty straightforward little route here to the whirlwind. You can see it over there in the distance. There are some ways to slightly improve this from what I am currently doing, but as with most things for a marathon, you know, play it a little bit safer just to make sure that you've got the consistency there. Alright, at the whirlwind here. Come here, Pickles. I promised you a belly rub. And a belly rub is what you get, buddy. Good job. Let's just grab that 3rd and final belly rub that we just got right here. Blow it up, my friend. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for those donations. I'm sure Pickles is overjoyed as well. I tell you what, the animals in this game, they do some sick Tokyo drifting. Like, I swear. The pig back there, the deer earlier, they're just all over the place. Alright, so let's meet Nimue. She is the next boss we're going to be dealing with. She is kind of the bane of my existence, in a good way. Her cloud can definitely be super trolly, so we'll see how she decides to treat us today. And this is also a new type of puzzle that we haven't seen before. If I shoot this, as you can see, it makes the front panel move. So we are going to be like setting this up into the alignment that it says on the floor. For this particular puzzle, that's very simple because the answer is like literally right there. Later on, we will do tile puzzles where the answer is not clear. So that's why they're puzzles, is because this one was just an example. They're usually much harder than that. But as speedrunners, obviously we know the answer, we know the solution, and so we don't need to go and seek out all of the panels that would tell us what to do. Now, if Nimue is feeling like her normal self, she will teleport to my right and be directly in my way. Oh, I'm so surprised, honey. Nice to see you over here. It's gonna be one of those days, I think. It's gonna be a Nimue day. So we're currently working on some reroutes of this particular plateau, specifically for the express purpose of not getting as many Nimue clouds. Because when she wants to be in your business, she's gonna be in your business. Aw, I missed. I literally did that entirely for swag. And I missed anyway. Alright, we just gotta light up his eyeballs, and that will be enough to finish this puzzle. She's not here, at least, which it's definitely possible that she appears over here and is in your way again, repeatedly. So she's been a little bit generous, I suppose. Get a little extra height from that just to make sure that I make it up here. And onward. This is not necessarily the route that the current world record holders, well, you know, the current and former world record holder would take. But this is the most long-standing route, and so that's the one that I'm choosing. Pickles, buddy. Could you drop me off where I'm supposed to be? Thank you. She's moving. I'm not a big fan of where she is at the moment. Hopefully she decides to leave me alone. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll just be down here. That's fine. Nimue has decided that so it shall be. At least she's out of the way now, I think. Nope, she's directly on top of where I want to be next. Of course she is. I am once again gonna take the risk that I can complete this puzzle before she notices me and comes chasing after me. This cloud around the building indicates that it's one of those puzzles where there's a statue of the Godslayer. Ouch. And so Pickles will not assist until I turn it off. Which is why I have to do all this platforming on my own. So we basically landed at the end of the puzzle. That was the purpose of doing what we did. And as part of those donations that we got before the run even started, we are going to not reset here. And we're going to be sure that we clean Pickles up the good and proper way. So yet more pets, because y'all are so dang generous. Hi, Nimue. Oh, Mort's asleep with his mouth open again, I see. He stayed awake for the part with Sauro, because Sauro's a lizard too, and after that he's like, ah, I'm done, whatever. Is she chasing me? I'm not sure. Don't look. Don't look, it's not real. Alright, we're safe. She is really, like, Nimue is really in my face. If you're not familiar with how this run can kind of change from run to run, let me just clarify that she is, like, super in my face for this run. Get that skill shot there. When we skill shot in the air, we only drop half as far as we normally would by fully charging a shot. But at the risk of missing, which is fairly common because those skill shots are hard. Pickles, you like bounced backwards, my dude. Good try. That's alright. It's technically faster to go around the side, like he just did, but it feels good to let him through the door. It feels polite somehow. So we're now introduced to these mirrors, which are one of my favorite mechanics. They let you shoot arrows around corners by reflecting them off the mirrors. And you will see a couple puzzles that make good use of that. So we have the remaining light stones that we need. We need only 2 because we have 1 tower left, and we're heading right towards it. Nimue is probably also heading right towards it because that's just the way she rolls. So we'll see if she pops right in on my face to say, no, how about one more reset? Alright, it's looking like we're decently safe from Nimue, thankfully. There have definitely been a fair share of times I've been anxiously outrunning her at this point, so maybe she feels bad for all of the trolling that she's done so far. Alright, y'all know the drill. We're gonna reveal her weak spots. We're gonna fight her. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get a glitch that will let us skip about half of the fight. It has to do, at least as far as we can guess, it has to do with how the game, like, handles save data and, like, memory and storing stuff. So if we defeat her on a save file, and then as soon as we defeat her, like the moment that we can go back to the main menu after we defeat her, we just start a brand new run. For some reason the game, I guess, like, gets confused about whether or not you've fought her, and it just kind of freaks out and skips half of her fight. So, not gonna complain about that time save if we can get it. Basically, I did the setup for it. Whether we get it beyond that is kind of up to the game, so we shall see. If you do get it, depending on a variety of factors, including, you know, what kind of RNG she gives you during the fight, you can save like a minute and a half-ish by getting that glitch. So it's certainly nothing to scoff at. I missed. You didn't see anything. You saw nothing. In the interest of safety, I am not going to cut to the right here, so that hopefully we can avoid the camera getting all messed up. And by extension, the controls no longer working. Her fireballs are absolutely nothing. They're nothing to worry about. Compared to Sauro and compared to the next boss, she's got nothing. That being said, her actual fight is hard. Like, unironically hard. So what she lacks in a chase, she makes up for in her actual boss fight. So we'll move on to the real fight. And hopefully we skip like half of it. That would be great. So if I get hit by her at all, we start over. Which is why this fight is so hard. There is a heavy, heavy penalty for getting hit. Which is starting the fight over. Or at least the phase that you're in, over. Alright, so if the glitch is gonna work, we will see it during this whole cutscene bit. Pickles got maunched. Sorry, buddy. Don't worry, he's okay. He's just trapped. So as the camera zooms out, looking at all of the Hydra heads, hopefully we just get a little clip. Yep, right there. And so with that, we have skipped kind of 2 phases. A 2-part 1 phase of the boss fight. And the game just kind of does it. We speculate as to why, but in the end it's the game that just kind of doesn't load that part of the fight. Hi, Pickles! And Cacaw. So just like before, we'll get to find out what she looks like when she's feeling nice and healthy. If you look at kind of the environment in the plateaus that we're going through and getting their sigils and stuff, their light stones, you might be able to guess what they're going to end up being. Also, I see CJ over here telling a story about rescuing a turtle that's trying to bite him, and I feel like... what is it with you and encountering rogue reptiles?
Okay. So, the flying gecko wasn't my fault.
I suppose that's
little
true.
Girl had it coming. Did drop its tail and bite me. You did guide me through that situation expertly, I must say. The tortoise, there's been, like, the local police department put a post up saying there's been a lot of turtle mortality in the area, and to exercise caution when driving, because there's been an unusual amount of tortoise deaths. So, you know what? I parked in the road, they honked at me, it bit me, I put it in the grass by the bank, and I went away. In my rearview mirror, I saw that damn tortoise trying to walk back into the road. So
you were just doing your part.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We all have a part to do in this play, and mine is I apparently rescue rogue animals who sometimes do not wish to be rescued.
Alright, so we have freed Nimue. We have unlocked, finally, that tower that's going to get us up closer to the island in the sky where the Godslayer is. And Nimue's gift to us was faster flap recharge, which means when we touch the ground, our flaps will now all come back almost instantaneously instead of having to stand and wait for them, which is great. We're going to need that basically immediately. Unfortunately, you know, I've been hyping up this tower the entire time, like, oh, we gotta make sure we can climb the tower. We're not gonna climb the tower, let's be real. We're speedrunners. Climbing the tower takes time. Not gonna do it. The reason that we're not gonna do it, unfortunately, is because at the top of the tower, you know, we haven't seen the Godslayer for a while. And at the top of the tower, we are gonna encounter him again. And he's gonna be like, can you not? Can you just stop with this rescuing the gods thing? And we're like, no, dude, of course not. And so we get into a fight with him. And yeah, we're the hero. Yeah, we're the ones who are doing what's right and helping people. That doesn't matter because we get absolutely trounced. He just wrecks us. Because he has the Sun Sword, which if you listen to like these blue spirits and stuff throughout the game, they will tell you that they were all witnessing the Godslayer completing this big long ritual to acquire this Sun Sword. And he succeeded. He has the sword now, and he is way too strong. And that's what we learn at the top of this tower. So we're going to need to find some way to deal with that Sun Sword if we're ever going to have a chance of defeating the Godslayer. For now, though, we're not going to do any of that because the cutscene trigger is at the top of this tower. Right here. I'm just gonna go around it. I'm gonna go outside of an invisible wall. We are now past the invisible wall, and I'm gonna shimmy my way up this mountain. This is exactly how you do any percent. You do this for about 15 minutes and then you skip all of the bosses that we've fought so far. But we are now inside, or rather on the other side, of an invisible wall. If I flap now, I'm gonna get pushed back inbound, which is not what we want, so we gotta keep just climbing the way that we are for a little bit longer. But by avoiding the cutscene trigger that's at the top of this tower over here, we cause both the cutscene and the fight to not happen, and so we don't have to spend time on it. On the one hand, that's great because it takes like 7 or 8 minutes. On the other hand, it's really cool, and I'm sad that we don't get to watch it. But this is why this fast flap recharge really, really helps. Like immediately after we get it, because we're just doing a bunch of flaps now. Alright, we're past the trigger. It was down there at the top of that pillar. And now we can progress as if it didn't exist. And here we are. This is the final one of the Eagle Mother's children. He lives here. And as you can see, his area is absolutely massive. His area is like all of the other plateaus combined. It's huge. And so we've got Kumo here, who is, let's be real, swole as hell. He did not skip leg day, he did not skip any day. He's just jacked. And like lore-wise, that's in the lore, that's what you know about him, is that he is swole. Because you'll see as we go through this area that there's a bunch of skeletons everywhere, and in the lore, the reason is because he just wants to play. But he's so powerful that playing does not go well for anybody who's playing with him. So that's why there's skeletons everywhere. Oopsie. I would bet money that Kumo is gonna leave where he's standing and come to my right. No, he's gonna go... Yep, there he is. Hi, buddy. It's the weirdest thing. Also, he is actively chasing me. He is way more aggressive than the others. He will chase you from halfway across the map. So, I might be able to get far enough away from him to finish this puzzle before he gets me. But it's funny because if you ask the devs, like, how does the cloud work? They told me, like, it's random. And yet, we also kind of know where he's gonna end up a lot of the time. It's this very odd conglomeration of, like, logical randomness. Pickles, I'm gonna need you to go a little bit faster, okay? Because he is... Oh lord, he coming. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Alright. I'm outrunning you, Kumo. Go away. Alright, I think that he stopped chasing. Which is great. Not having to do that reset there is gonna be very helpful. Oh, hi. Look who it is. I got a little bit too comfy. I counted my chickens before they hatched. And now he has come to show me that if I don't get a reset there, I need to get one here. Did I actually hit that? No. Oh, that was so close. That's meant to be gotten, like, not on the first arrow, but every now and then if you're really lucky, you can do it in just one arrow. I would have been shocked if it worked, but, you know, always gotta try. I see you, buddy. Oh well. I'll take the reset. My dog, who is sitting next to the couch, just sat here and did like the biggest groan. And I was gonna be like, I know, right? And then I realized that none of you would know what I'm even talking about. Alright, so one tower down. We are now going to be heading into another one of those locations where there's a statue of the Godslayer. That means that Pickles will not be able to assist me. Oh boy, yep, it's over there. See, that you actually got to see me use the visor, which we don't necessarily always use. When it's snowing heavily like that, the visor can help you see to make sure that you know where you're going. But anyway, Pickles will not be able to assist me during this puzzle because he will be well too scared. And we used to have a much easier puzzle in the run, but this one is just kind of more convenient now. Definitely fairly challenging as far as physics is concerned, and if you fail, you have to start the puzzle over. So here's hoping that we are treated decently, at least, by this puzzle. I don't know how you're supposed to solve this. It's not like this, I can promise you that. Alright, this one of the hardest jumps. There we go. Beautiful. That all went really well. It's just a lot of very precise angles, basically. More pets for all of you who donated before the run began. Normally we would reset this, because if you reset the game, Pickles will not be on fire when you come back. But we're gonna give him some good rubs. So many skeletons! Because Kumo doesn't know how to play nice. Boy! Cannot hit that. So we are going to be using the fire from these arrows to melt the arches that we're trying to shoot through. It's a little bit of a change up to the typical hoop puzzle that we've been solving thus far. Okay, let me get my flaps back real quick. Cool. This is one of the only areas in the game where it's like super critical that you get skill shots, at least a majority of the time. Oh, buddy! Hello! It's been all of a minute and a half since I saw you. It's great to see you again. Oh boy. I was trying to touch down on the ground. I was trying to cement my progress. And that's why, because we need to make this crossing again. Because I wasn't able to touch down before the cloud got me. It's fine, it ends up being, you know, just a 15-second span or something, but Kumo decided he was gonna be a big old goob. Alright, we need one more sigil. One more lightstone. And then that will be all that we ever need. So we're gonna do one final puzzle. And then things will start to change after that. I'm just trying to show off my skill shots as I missed the very first one after I load back in. I'm sorry, was that a Minecraft dog? Was that like not a fully loaded dog? It looked exactly like a Minecraft wolf glitching through the barrier there. Missed that one, but that's okay. I'll get that one instead. A nice skink? Thank you. 40 is a babe. So once again, we are going to do glancing shots with these mirrors. The cool thing about these mirrors is that because of the way that they interpret what is in range to bounce off of them, I'm actually going to be able to take this one and set it, hopefully, in such a way that it will count for one puzzle. It will catch the arrow for one puzzle, but it will not catch the arrow going in the opposite direction, even though it doesn't move. Like, I don't move it. So yeah, we were able to skip it that second time, but use it the first time. Which obviously saves time because we don't have to reposition it. And it's just kind of a little, I don't know, artifact of how the collision detection works with those mirrors that we're able to do that. So we've got all the light stones we need. We just need to get to this tower. Hopefully Kumo is not really paying attention. I don't know where he is. Around. But I'm gonna gather up my flaps real quick. Just recharge them here to make sure that I can make this next trek to this this tower. Mort finally got rid of the thing on his face. You gotta love, you know, hey Mort, you're gonna be on cam. And then he's like, okay, let me just make myself as dirty as possible. So like I said before, y'all know how this works. These are going to reveal Kumo's weak spots. We're going to do a chase. We're going to do a boss fight. Kumo, being the thicky boy that he is, has 8 weak points. He is large. Also, I will say, the chase and fight with Kumo will take a little bit of time, but after that fight, we are actually going to be approaching the end of the time that we have to pet Pickles. So if we have anybody who still wants to see Pickles get a couple more belly rubs, now would be the time to get those final donations in before we lose the opportunity.
Have we fulfilled all of the belly rubs that we received donations for?
I do believe that we have. We fulfilled the ones that happened before the run by not skipping the speedrun tech ones, and just tossing a couple in there if I'm being real. And I believe that I believe that I got all the other ones, including the special glowy one.
More than adequately pet your bird.
Yeah, had to get that special glowing pet for that big donation, but.
Of course. Yes. We had to make sure that his feathers shone bright. But yeah, you heard the lady. You have but only a few more moments to get your donations in if you want to see any more bird petting take place.
And you will all understand in due time why we will lose the ability to pet Pickles after a certain point. So here we go with meteors. As far as chases are concerned, Kumo is among the hardest, if not the hardest, because the terrain is so like rocky and uneven that it's often hard to tell where these meteors are going to land until you're already like, you know, seeing your face lit on fire. Like that. But that's okay, we just get blown back a little bit, we take a little bit of damage to stamina. I'm still more than caught up with Kumo. Alright, and that skeleton behind him is pretty standard for where we are going to knock him down. So, a decent chase. Now, if you recall, Kumo, he's swole, he's thick, and he likes to play. So this fight is going to be much longer than any of the others in terms of sheer number of times that we hit Kumo, because Kumo is large, and he's just having a great time, you know? He's pouncing around, he's like, why won't you play with me? Well, look at all the skeletons you left behind, buddy. That's why I'm not playing with you. He just doesn't know his own strength.
We just got another $10 from Ogre498.
Oh yeah.
For a quick bird pet. Right before the cutoff.
Yeah, love to see it. We will hit those right after the Kumo fight. We've got a little bit of ascent that we're gonna do up to a castle, and we'll be sure to give Pickles those good belly rubs. So at 2 hits from Pickles, any other boss would be like, okay, I'm done. Like, this is too much. And Kumo's like, whatever, I don't really care. This is no problem. He's fine. Still not done, because this is Kumo we're talking about.
He is, in fact, very large.
Alright. Even big boy Kumo has to acknowledge defeat at some point. So maybe some of you can guess already what he's gonna end up being once we make him feel better. There we go, a bear, which was not what I was expecting the first time that I played this. You know, 8 legs, 8 eyes, crawls on walls. Kinda thought that bear was not on the radar.
Can I hop in really quick?
Yep.
So Ogre corrected me. Thank you for the correction, Ogre. First Dono actually went to the inside run, but if belly rubs are going to be performed, then I suppose I should pay for them. Awesome run, by the way.
Thank you.
So here I was going to give it on credit. Thank you so much to Ogre.
So this is what we needed. This is going to unlock the tower that finally takes us to the floating isle where the Godslayer is. Only problem with that is, if you recall, Godslayer has the Sun Sword. We have done absolutely nothing to try to, like, give ourselves a chance against that Sun Sword. So, not necessarily gonna be going well, probably. Kumo's gift is a Mega Flap. We can spend basically all of our flaps to go extra high, but, you know. Here's to that final pet for Pickles before we head off into the great beyond together. Right, buddy? Good job. So yeah, we are now going to lose any further ability to pet Pickles. But thank you so much, everybody who donated and made sure that he got all of the belly rubs that he so rightfully deserves. And of course, you're supporting a wonderful charity at the same time. Unfortunately, despite the fact that Kumo's gift is like really cool and we get this mega flap, we're only going to use it once, which is sad. And I might actually be the only runner who uses it. I'm not even sure. I want Kumo to feel included. So I use the mega flap. I use it right here. Alright, so we are on our way. We have finally begun to head to this island. We have no means of, you know, fighting against the Godslayer's Sun Sword, but I guess we're just gonna hope that it's okay. So we finally made it. We're on the floating island. After this entire time, we have defeated all of the Eagle Mother's children and restored them to their former selves. Now this island didn't always used to be this way, right? This used to be just another part of the Godmother's territory. Unfortunately now it's kind of fallen to the Godslayer. And my bow's broken. So, you know, that whole sun sword thing, kind of even worse now. So that's why Pickles is so powerful, right? That's why he can help us with these fights. That's why he can help us purify things. That's why he can carry me. Because he is the reincarnation of the big Eagle Mother from the beginning of the game. He is a god. So the Godslayer wants to create this one true path, right? That's what he's wanted for the entire game. And if you take the time to actually, you know, read all of the text from the spirits that are on the ground and everything, I think that they did a great job making the Godslayer sympathetic as a villain. Gonna dodge Pickles here real quick. What the Godslayer wants in the end is to create, like he said, this one true path. He thinks that having all of these gods that we have been seeing throughout the game is really confusing. Like, how are people gonna know what to do or who they should follow or how to make choices if they have all these options? So he wants to do away with all of that. He wants to just be like, okay, all of these other gods, gone. It's just me. Because if there's just one path to choose, then there is no wrong choice, right? It's easy. Everybody can do it. And so he's doing it. He's trying to do the right thing for the wrong reason. No, he's trying to do the wrong thing for the right reason. I got it backwards. He's trying to do the wrong thing for the right reason. He wants to help people. He's not doing a good thing, you know? But it's not just this self-motivated, like, I want to be a god so that I can be powerful kind of thing. Also, that stealth section was literally perfect, which is kind of a big deal. So before the Godslayer took up residence here, right? This place was just another part of the realm of the gods. And that's why, when we go here and pray at this location, like so, we can actually enter the spirit world. And here's all of our buddies that we've spent the entire run freeing. And so their solution, since my bow is broken, is to give me a new bow, the moon bow, which is literally the weapon that was made to equal the sun sword. So now, hopefully we have a chance of stopping the Godslayer from ascending and, you know, carrying through with his plan to be a god. Also, like, low-key, I want Pickles back. Yeah, I don't want him to be a god, but also I want Pickles. So let's not forget that Pickles is still not doing great. He's still feeling kind of spicy. Oh, Mort is always judging. Mort is always judging. So I'm going to be trying to manipulate the Godslayer's RNG a little bit here to make him vulnerable to attacks. So that hopefully we can get this over with as quickly as possible. Obviously we don't want to spend any more time than we have to. Ooh, that was close. That was close. So there is a great danger in this fight. As I mentioned earlier in the run, I don't have a health bar, but if I get hit enough, I will, you know, lose. I need to be very careful not to get hit in this fight, because if I get hit enough, I'll get, like, yeeted out of the arena. And if that happens, all of this whole fight, all of these phases start over. And it is not good. So like one hit there, that's fine. I can take one hit. You know, I can take another incidental hit from Pickles. That's okay. But we really should be careful. Pickles, buddy, can you stop? The attacks from Pickles are the worst. They're like the hardest to dodge. So every time that we hit him a little bit, he's taking some time and channeling some power. You know, he's trying to ascend and we're trying to stop him as fast as possible. But he's sucking in that power despite our best efforts. You know, we're not really slowing him down that much, even with the moonbow. I disagree that hit me. I was nowhere near one of those targets, but okay. I'll just take the maximum number of hits before I get yeeted out of the arena, like just for swag. Hint, the maximum number of hits is the number I have currently. I should not get hit again. We might get lucky, and it lets me stay, depending on what kind of hit I get hit with next, if I get hit again. But, let's not chance it, eh? There's no way I'm gonna get another swipe. Are you kidding? That's so lucky. Two swipes in a row. Every time it gets a little bit harder to stop him. And I missed because I'm a goober. But hey, we're purifying the eagle. That's great. Come on, Pickles. Come back to us. And of course, Godslayer is like, nah, I'm not gonna let that happen. So he ascended. We completely failed to stop him in doing that. And he is gonna absolutely make sure that I can't take the time to do the ritual to purify Pickles. And so the only choice that I have is to take the curse from Pickles and take it into myself. So now I'm the one inside the cloud. All of the bosses so far have always been inside this red cloud, right? And now it's me, because I'm the one that's cursed. Alright, that was a decent amount of time to find that light beam. So we gotta find our way out. We gotta find some semblance of memory or something that's gonna get us out of the haze that is this cloud of curse. Because Pickles still needs us. Plus there's also, like, the Godslayer, but mostly it's Pickles. Alright, good lineup for that. This section can be particularly hard in a speedrun because you don't have visual cues. Once you face into the outside wall of the cloud, you have no more visual cues about whether you're going in the right direction. I'm calling out for Pickles. I'm trying to get him to notice me. Trying to find my way out of this. But even still, our moonbow wasn't enough. You know, we couldn't stop him from ascending. Oh good. That was basically like a direct lineup with Pickles, which is great. He can be really hard to find if you're a little bit inaccurate with your trajectory right at the beginning. Alright, so we should come in a couple minutes under estimate. We've got just a little bit more to do here. Hey, buddy. You're safe, because I took the curse. A little worse for the wear, but he's okay. So we don't have the strength we need by ourselves to beat the Godslayer. So instead, we're gonna all do this together. Alright, let's do this, folks. This fight is so good. There will be some flashing lights throughout this fight if that bothers you. Be aware that that's coming. The effects of the moonbow cause flashes like that. Alright, second shot on the hand, that's the ideal way to do that. The only chance you have to hit the hand twice. As you can see, we've got shockwaves, we got fireballs, we got claws, there's gonna be lasers, there's all sorts of stuff happening here. There's fire from the sky. Very important that we don't get hit. Very important that we continue to fully charge all of our shots. Even if we're not, like, completely looking at that location, because there's so much else to look at. Alright, took a hit there. Should be fine. So that shot on his middle eye missed. It doesn't matter. This new moon bow is so powerful because we're all working together, it will come back and hit him again. If he even survives that long. Yeah, it did there. You could see it very briefly. There were 2 arrow shots at once. Alright, we should get ready on the timer. Timing is going to end once I deliver the final blow. Or rather, once a certain feathery somebody delivers the final blow. So yeah, we should get ready on time. Probably have like 15 more seconds. Alright, get ready, because timing stops now. So yeah, I mean, a 156. We're still a couple minutes from my PB or anything, but we did a lot of belly rubbing, and that was worth it. I will spend so many minutes doing belly rubs.
Yeah, that was awesome. Congrats.
Thank you
for your great run.
You bet. We got like probably like 45 seconds of cutscene still to watch, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Vokara sur jasen. Sifiru mazuke sha.
So the Godslayer, right, he wanted to make this one path because he thought that that was the right thing to do for everybody. But what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for other people. Like, you have to figure it out on your own. And that's the right answer. So that's why he was wrong, and that's why we were fighting him. Because there is no one right path for everybody.
A valuable lesson.
Now, of course, anytime that the other gods were corrupt or cursed or whatever, we went and we got light stones and we purified their towers and then we purified them. I don't have towers, so that's kind of a problem. Not good for me. But, you know, it was worth it. We saved the world, and of course Pickles, if you remember, is the reincarnation of that eagle god from the very beginning, who was the mother of all the other gods. So Pickles is gonna go, he's gonna start this world over again, and it is gonna be great. And there are multiple endings to this game, by the way. Like, if you do more than I did, you can get a different ending, so there's still plenty for you to do if you're interested in playing this game for yourself. But that was the Pathless All Bosses. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thank you so much for your generosity and all of those belly rubs. I know we've still got lots of great runs coming, and lots of donations and incentives and all sorts of stuff. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you had fun. And it was great to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sable, and a special shout out to Mort, whose presence is always a joy. Don't go touching that dial. We're going to take a quick pause, pay the bills, and when we come back, we will be in intermission, and I have some great updates for you. So stick around. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much to Sable for that excellent Pathless run. Pathless is a really fun game. You should check her out. Sable Dragonrook on Twitch. Coming up next, we have the Legend of Zelda Randomizer Exhibition. Had this on my calendar since the schedule got announced. I'm excited to be able to be hosting this run. It's been a while since we talked about Save the Children, so let me just, let's talk about why we're here, why we're raising money, who we're raising money for. Every day, 15,000 children die before their 5th birthday. Most of those deaths are from preventable causes. Save the Children does whatever it takes to ensure all children survive, learn, and are protected through 3 global goals by 2030. 1. No child should die from preventable causes. 2. All children should have access to a quality basic education. And 3. No child should be a victim of violence. And I think we can all universally agree those are 3 tenets that we should all strive to make a reality in our world. 15,000 is unfortunately a tragically high number, especially every day. And while we're raising money, a little can go a long way. Not a wrong way, the right way, but it goes a long way. $25 can train a trafficking survivor to be a peer educator for vulnerable girls. The amount of young women who are the victims of human trafficking each and every year is abysmal. And the only way that we can improve the odds of catching more human traffickers is through diligent effort and education. Knowing the signs, knowing how to spot people that are in distress, and teaching others the best ways to help themselves. So, we gotta get those a-holes, as Two Worlds puts it. $50, really quick. Because I know I'm having fun talking about Save the Children. $50 can keep 10 out-of-school children from going hungry during a pandemic. That school lunch program, it really helps. It feeds a lot of kids. My schools did it even when the schools were shut down. They still did the school lunch program. They had drive-up lunch service. A shout out to all the school districts that were able to keep that going on during the pandemic. Alright, I want to quickly check in. Don't have any new donations, but if we could get to 600 before the end of my shift, that'd be pretty pog, not gonna lie. Let's check in on some of these polls that we got going on. The one that's ending right now, the Legend of Zelda Sprite Selection. You get to vote with your money who the 2 runners, because it is a race exhibition, what their sprites are going to be. Currently, Trogdor and the Old Woman are in the lead with $70 and $21, respectively. Trogdor may be locked up, but the Old Woman is fair game. A sentence that I never truly thought I would have to utter. But the Merchant, the Old Man, Zelda, and Link are they're on the table. $22 wins you the pony. The other poll going on right now, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, choose the driver. Shredder is in the lead with $22. Reptar is in second place with $20. Joja Siwa and Rocco, 0. Gotta get your donations in for the sprites soon, because those donations are closing in the next few minutes. So if you have an opinion, you want to make your voice known, you want to donate to Save the Children for any of the reasons that have been mentioned during the event, get those donations in. Make your voice known. Your presence felt. We also have Inside. Finish the game. That is going to be overnight. We are at $41.49. We are so close to finishing that run. You know you want to do it. Come on. As a reminder, every donation can be contributed to a poll or a target. Inside will be tonight at 12 a.m. by none other than Sable. So if you like Sable, and you're going to be up in 7 hours from now. 2 World. It looks like we're back. Nothing to see here, folks. That's why we fall, so we learn how to pick ourselves up. Shout out to the great runners that we've had here during the event. If you want to see all the news, everything to have to do with NASA, adjacent or otherwise parallel or perpendicular, you can follow the marathon on Twitter. That's at NASA Marathon, NASA Marathon. You can find them on YouTube. That's NASA, again spelled the same way, NASA Marathon, for all the VODs of this marathon, every other marathon to appear on the channel. A few notwithstanding. And you can go to NASAmarathon.com, where it's all conveniently located in one convenient package. Speaking of things adjacent and parallel, if you like speedrun marathons, which, I mean, come on, you're here, you do. Not this next weekend, but the weekend after, you can look forward to Unchartathon, which will be that weekend. And at the end of the month, the last weekend of the month, we have the Gamer House Marathon. Both will be on NASA. You can tune in to NASA Marathon on Twitch, twitch.tv/NASA Marathon, or where you currently are located. All right, people, let's see who won the pony. I'm going to turn off these incentives. If you didn't get your sprite selection in, you are choosing to forever hold your peace. All right, the polls have been closed. Once we come back, we will reveal the winners. All right, I'm being told that we're ready to go. You wanted to see it. Don't go touching that dial. We will be right back after a brief message from the charity that we are working so hard to provide for and raise money for, Save the Children.